Aha, often stylized as Aha, Norwegian pronunciation. HEH is a Norwegian synth-pop band formed in Oslo in 1982. Founded by Paul Wakhtar Savoy guitars and vocals, Magne Furuholmen keyboards, guitars and vocals, and Morten Harket lead vocals, the band rose to fame during the mid-1980s. Aha achieved their biggest success with their debut album Hunting High and Low in 1985. The album peaked at number 1 in their native Norway, number 2 in the UK, and number 15 on the US Billboard album chart. Yielded the international number 1 single Take On Me, as well as The Sun Always Shines on TV, and earned the band a Grammy Award nomination for Best New Artist. In the UK, Hunting High and Low continued its chart success into the following year, becoming one of the best-selling albums of 1986. The band released studio albums in 1986, 1988, and 1990, with single hits including Hunting High and Low, The Living Daylights, Stay on These Roads, and Crying in the Rain. In 1994, after their fifth studio album, Memorial Beach 1993, failed to achieve the commercial success of their previous albums, the band went on hiatus. Following a performance at the Nobel Peace Prize concert in 1998, Aha recorded their sixth album, 2000's Minor Earth Major Sky, which was another number 1 album in Norway and Germany. This album was followed by Lifeline's 2002, Analog 2005, which was certified silver in the UK, and Foot of the Mountain 2009, which was certified silver in the UK and reached the top 5 in many European countries. The band split after their 2010 worldwide Ending on a High Note tour, but reunited in 2015 to release their 10th studio album, Cast in Steel. They toured in support of the album and participated at Rock in Rio, which celebrated 30 years for both the band and the event. The band has released 11 studio albums, several compilations and 4 live albums, with their most recent album, True North, released on the 21st of October 2022. In less than a year, during 2010, the band earned an estimated 500 million Norwegian kroner from concert tickets, merchandise and the release of a greatest hits album, making them one of the 40 to 50 highest grossing bands in the world. The band were listed in the Guinness World Records book for having the biggest paying rock concert attendance. They drew an audience of 198,000 at Maracana Stadium during the Rock in Rio festival. They have sold more than 100 million units, albums and singles combined. History, formation. The trio, composed of lead vocalist Morten Harket, guitarist Paul Wakhtar, then known as PPL Wakhtar, and keyboardist Magne Furuholmen, formed in 1982, and left Norway for London in order to make a career in music. We were trying to think of what to call themselves, focusing on Norwegian words people could say in English. They jettisoned that idea when Morten spotted a song called Aha in Wakhtar's songbook. It was a terrible song but a great name, said Morten. They chose the studio of musician and producer John Ratcliffe because it had a Space Invaders machine. He introduced them to his manager, Terry Slater, and after a few meetings, Aha enlisted both as managers. The two formed TJ Management, with Ratcliffe handling technical and musical matters, while Slater handled international business and served as liaison to Warner Brothers, head office in Los Angeles. Hunting High and Low 19841-1986. An early version of Take On Me was the first song that Harket had heard Furuholmen and Wakhtar play in Asker. At that time, the song was called Misery and the two men were still known as Bridges. Harket said it sounded more like a Juicy Fruit song, meaning a gum advertisement. Aha's first recorded version was called Lesson 1. The song was then re-recorded, renamed Take On Me, and released in 1984, when it was promoted with a video of the band performing in front of a blue background. After it failed to chart, the song was re-recorded with production by Alan Tarney. It again failed to chart. Finally, the song was re-released in 1985 with a new, groundbreaking video. This time, the song peaked at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and at number 2 on the UK singles chart. Aha became the first Norwegian band to have a number 1 hit in the US. The popularity of Take On Me earned the band a spot on the American television series Soul Train in 1985, making them one of the few white artists to appear on the black music-oriented show. Earlier Soul Train appearances by white artists included Gino Vanelli, Elton John, David Bowie, Hall & Oates, Sheena Easton, Pet Shop Boys, Michael McDonald, and Tina Marie. The video used a pencil sketch animation, live-action combination called rotoscoping, in which individual frames of film are drawn over or colored. It became one of the most instantly recognizable and most enduringly popular music videos in the US, where it was nominated for 8 awards at the 3rd Annual MTV Video Awards in 1986, winning 6, including Best New Artist in a Video, Best Concept Video, Best Direction, Best Special Effects, Viewer's Choice, and Best Video of the Year. Their 6 MTV Award wins for that video gave them twice as many wins as Michael Jackson's Thriller and more than any artist in the 3 years of the awards combined. The band's second single worldwide was The Sun Always Shines on TV, even though Love Is Reason was the second single in Norway. In the US, the song peaked at number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reached number 17 on Radio and Record's Airplay chart. A remixed version was a club hit, rising to number 5 on the Hot Dance Singles Sales chart. The music video for the song was another popular and critical success, nominated at the 1986 MTV Video Music Awards in 3 categories and winning 2, Best Cinematography and Best Editing, bringing a total to 11 nominations and 8 wins. The following year, Peter Gabriel would earn 13 nominations and win 9 awards, also for 2 separate videos. In successive years, even as the award categories expanded, only a few artists have approached, and none have surpassed the single-year award totals of AHA and Gabriel. AHA's American success culminated in their 1986 Grammy nomination in the Best New Artist category, which was eventually won by Saad. The Sun Always Shines on TV turned out to be AHA's last Hot 100 Top 40 single, and to this day, in the United States, AHA is remembered by the general public almost entirely because of Take On Me. As such, the band is frequently considered a one-hit wonder there, despite their top 40 hits. In the UK, where The Sun Always Shines on TV has been their only number 1, AHA enjoyed continued success with 2 more hit singles from the same album, Train of Thought and Hunting High and Low, with another innovative video, and remained popular throughout the 1980s and early 1990s. The band's first album, 1985's Hunting High and Low, became a worldwide bestseller, spending most of October and November in the top 20 of Billboard's Top 200 album chart. The album and its 4 hit singles garnered international recognition for AHA. Hunting High and Low earned triple platinum status in the UK and reached platinum status in the USA and Germany, while earning gold in Brazil and the Netherlands. Hunting High and Low has sold 11 million copies worldwide. The album peaked at number 15 on the US on the Billboard 200 Albums chart and at number 2 on the UK Albums chart. It spent 38 weeks in the top 10 in Norway, including 8 weeks at number 1. Golden Age 1987 to 1994. AHA's second album, Scoundrel Days, was released in the midst of the 1986 World Tour and represented a move towards alternative rock, as synthpop began to fall out of style. Although the album received favorable reviews and had 3 singles become international hits, sales 6.4 million copies did not match those of its predecessor except for in Switzerland, where it remains AHA's best-selling album. Cry Wolf would be the last AHA single to chart on the Billboard Hot 100. After the release of the album, AHA toured in the US, its last appearance there for 20 years. The album has been certified platinum in the UK, Switzerland, and Brazil, and has earned gold certification in Germany. Ned Ragged of Music Guide would later write of the album, "The opening 2 songs alone make for one of the best 1-2 opening punches around, the tense edge of the title track, featuring one of Morten Harket's soaring vocals during the chorus and a crisp, pristine punch in the music, and the swing of things. A moody, elegant number with a beautiful synth guitar arrangement plus some fine drumming courtesy of studio pro Michael Sturgis and utterly lovelorn lyrical sentiments that balance on the edge of being overheated without quite going over. The 80s may be long gone, but Scoundrel Days makes clear that not everything was bad back then. In May 1988, AHA released their 3rd studio album, titled Stay on These Roads, which matched the number 2 chart peak of its 2 predecessors on the British album charts. Stay on These Roads has been certified platinum in Brazil and France, and gold in Switzerland, Germany, the UK, and the Netherlands. The album includes the title track theme song to the James Bond film The Living Daylights. The version that appears on their album is the original version of the song. The band has said that they are particularly proud of the title track, and all three members contributed to its writing. Stay on These Roads and The Living Daylights would remain part of their live set throughout the rest of the band's history. After the release of the album, the band went on a 74-city world tour. The album has sold more than 4.2 million copies worldwide. East of the Sun, West of the Moon contained a cover version of the Everly Brothers' 1963 single Crying in the Rain. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, a-ha were very popular in South America, especially in Brazil, where the band sold out some of the largest stadiums in the world. At the January 1991 Rock in Rio festival, a-ha shocked the international entertainment press by drawing an audience of 198,000 at Maracana Stadium for their top-billed evening concert, a Guinness World Record for biggest rock concert attendance. In contrast, the other performers George Michael, Prince and Guns N' Roses each drew less than a third of that audience, 60,000 each. In a 2009 interview from Cody Ede in Music Week, celebrating a-ha's upcoming 25-year anniversary, the members revealed that the record-breaking concert and the lack of media attention they received were a devastating blow to the band. The festival, which should have been the band's crowning achievement, was instead a moment of crushing disappointment. MTV interviewed everybody except us, remembers Wakhtar Savoy. They were all calling their bosses and saying, "We must cover a-ha. It's the only night that has sold out," but they weren't allowed to. "I felt very alienated," says Faru Holman. "It made us feel hopeless. We played to the biggest crowd in the world and they ignored it." East of the Sun, West of the Moon was certified gold in Switzerland, Brazil, and Germany, and silver in the UK. Stephen MacDonald of Allmusic said of their fourth album, "This is a nicely crafted collection of songs, performed and sung beautifully, with lots of echoes and suggestions tucked into the music. While not an album one can discuss at length, it's an album that's a pleasure to listen to." The album sold 3.2 million copies worldwide. Their last album before their hiatus was Memorial Beach in 1993. Relative to previous releases, the album was a commercial disappointment. The only single from the album to chart officially outside of Norway was Dark is the Night, which peaked at number 19 in the United Kingdom. Despite the commercial reception, Q magazine listed the album as one of the 50 best albums of 1993. The following February, a-ha performed two concerts during the 1994 Winter Olympics in Lillehammer, Norway, followed by tour in South Africa and Norway. a-ha were also chosen to compose the official song for the Winter Paralympic Games in Lillehammer, which they entitled Shapes That Go Together. In 1994, the band unofficially entered a hiatus, during which band members focused on solo projects. First comeback 1998 to 2007. The band was invited to perform at the Nobel Peace Prize concert in 1998. Wakhtar Savoy wrote Summer Moved On especially for this performance. They also performed The Sun Always Shines on TV. This performance was a-ha's comeback into the world of music. Yet the band's set was controversially omitted from a program of concert highlights that was televised in the UK, and even more controversially in the US by Fox. Nevertheless, the band returned to the studio. Those recording sessions resulted in 2000's Minor Earth Major Sky, an international tour, and a webcast performance of the band opening the New Valhall Arena in Oslo on the 24th and the 25th of March 2001. a-ha's video for I Wish I Cared was one of the first fully web-based animated Macromedia Flash music videos to be made available. The first was Duran Duran's 2000 video for Someone Else Not Me. Citation needed the album reach platinum status, with sales of 1.5 million copies, and spawned for singles Summer Moved On, Minor Earth Major Sky, Velvet and The Sun Never Shone That Day. Summer Moved On went to number 1 in 17 countries. a-ha made a return appearance at the Nobel Peace Prize concert in 2001, performing a new song, Differences, and Hunting High and Low. The subsequent album, Lifelines, was released in 2002, going platinum in Norway and producing to top 5 hits there, Forever Not Yours and Lifelines. Jesper Hero directed the video for Lifelines, based on the short film A Year Along the Abandoned Road, which was directed by Morten Skallerud in 1991. The original short film was 12 minutes long. It shows a whole year lapsing in one shot at 50,000 times the normal speed. A live album from their 2000 tour, titled How Can I Sleep With Your Voice in My Head, was released in March 2003, preceded by a live single of the 1986 hit The Sun Always Shines on TV in 2004. A book entitled The Swing of Things was published, which also included a CD of early demo material titled The Demo Tapes. That year, a-ha celebrated their 20th anniversary with the release of a new singles collection, the Definitive Singles Collection 1984-2004. This compilation brought them back into the top 20 of the UK albums chart, where they reached number 13 and earned a gold album. On the 2nd of July 2005, a-ha performed at the Berlin edition of Live 8 in front of an audience of nearly 200,000 people. They began with Hunting High and Low, followed by Take On Me, during which Morten Harket had difficulties hearing himself when his in-ear monitor failed. He requested a 2-minute break, which he used to comment on the cause of Live 8. The intended 2 minutes became almost 7, and the third song, Summer Moved On, became the last of their set. Although 4 songs had been rehearsed, the band's time had run out and the organizers told them to leave the stage. Citation needed. On the 12th of September 2005, a-ha played a quickly sold-out show at Irving Plaza in New York City, the band's first concert in North America since 1986. Despite not having released any material there since 1993, on the 27th of August 2005, the band played a concert for 120,000 people in Frogner Park in Oslo, the largest concert ever in Norway. On the 4th of November 2005, the band released its 8th studio album, Analog. The UK release of the single Analog gave a-ha their first top 10 hit in the UK since 1988. 21. The album includes a guest appearance by Graham Nash of Crosby, Stills and Nash performing backup vocals on the songs Over the Treetops and Cozy Prisons. The song Celis became the band's 9th to reach number 1 on a major national chart, and its music video sparked criticism for its sexual content. The tour for the album included a gig at London's Shepherd's Bush in February 2006, along with a TV special in Africa. In 2006, a-ha recorded a cover of John Lennon's No. 9 Dream for Amnesty International. It was released in June 2007 on the album Make Some Noise. On the 30th of October 2006 in London, a-ha received the prestigious Q Magazine Inspiration Award for their long contribution to music and for inspiring many of their younger colleagues in the business. Citation needed. On the 15th of September 2007, a-ha played a free outdoor concert in Kiel, Germany, performing on a floating stage in the harbor. The concert was streamed live on the internet via MSN. On the 24th of January 2009, 25 years after its first release and the 50th anniversary of the official hit list in Norway, a-ha won the Spellemann Award for VG List a Hit of All Time for Take On Me. New Direction and Farewell to 08210. On the 20th to the 22nd of May 2008, Harket, Furu Holman and Wakhtar performed concerts in Oslo to promote their respective solo material before coming together as a-ha to play Train of Thought, Take On Me, and to new songs, Riding the Crest and Shadowside, which previewed the new a-ha album, Foot of the Mountain. These events led up to their performance at London's Royal Albert Hall on the 24th of May. On the 24th of April 2009, a-ha surprised their fan base by releasing their new single, Foot of the Mountain, premiering that day on Norwegian radio. The single had been completed only the night before. The song is based upon the track The Longest Night by Furu Holman, which was released on his album A Dot of Black in the Blue of Your Bliss. The band promoted the German release of the song by playing it during the final of Germany's Next Top Model on the 21st of May at Cologne's Lanxess Arena. Foot of the Mountain, a-ha's 9th studio album, was released in Europe on the 19th of June 2009. The album's material marked a return to synthpop, similar to the band's earliest work, although the first single and title track was not wholly indicative of this. The band collaborated with successful producer Steve Osborne, who has produced albums for such artists as Suede, New Order, Starsailor, Doves, Elbow, and U2. What There Is, an earlier solo track by Furu Holman, was re-recorded for the album. The album entered the German album chart at number 1, the UK album chart at number 5 and debuted on European album sales chart at number 8. In January 2010, Foot of the Mountain was certified platinum in Germany. I feel more connected to Depeche Mode compared with other acts of the 80s, claimed Furu Holman. Aha performed a cover of Depeche Mode's A Question of Less during a live performance for BBC Radio 2, The Dermot O'Leary Show on the 25th of July 2009. On the 24th of July 2009, Aha headlined the iTunes Live Festival, the performance of which was made available for download on iTunes. In the Norwegian iTunes store, Aha's release has yet to see the light of day. On the 15th of October 2009, the band announced they would disband after the 2010 worldwide Ending on a High Note tour. The concert sold out on the first day of ticket sales as thousands of fans from at least 40 countries on 6 continents congregated to see Aha for the last leg of the tour. Due to the large demand, a second farewell show was held for the 3rd of December 2010. To coincide with their disbandment, Aha released the singles 1984 to 2004 in the US and re-released deluxe versions of their first 2 albums, as well as a third and final compilation album, a new live DVD and a re-release of the book The Swing of Things by Jan Omdahl. A new single titled Butterfly was revealed on the 14th of June 2010 and released as a single on the 5th of July to promote the double CD compilation 25. On the 6th of July 2010, the albums Hunting High and Low and Scoundrel Days were released as deluxe editions in the US through Rhino Records, containing remixes, B-sides, demo versions, and extensive liner notes. Available in 2-disc CD and digital versions with additional material, both albums debuted in the top 40 Billboard Top Internet Sales chart, Hunting High and Low at number 34 and Scoundrel Days at number 36. Furu Holman revealed in an interview published in Magasinet, the magazine section of Norway's third-largest newspaper, Dagbladet, that he suffers from atrial fibrillation. The news was picked up the same day when, by electronic music magazine Sideline. At the 2011 Spellemannprisen, Norwegian artists from various music genres including Kaizers Orchestra, Ida Maria and Bertini Zetlitz, performed a cover of The Sun Always Shines on TV in honor of the band. After the performance, Aha received the honorary award with the words "Our heroes, once upon a time, now, still and forever." Aha's final concerts in Oslo were recorded by 10 HD cameras with digital, surround sound audio. Ending on a High Note Live, mixed by Toby Allington, is available in several formats, including the band's first Blu-ray release. A single-disc live album comprised 16 tracks, while the Blu-ray, DVD, and deluxe edition double CD set comprised 20 tracks. A bonus documentary appears in the deluxe set and Blu-ray versions. An NTSC version was released in the US and Japan. The 1st of April 2011, Aha released the DVD as well as the box set containing both the DVD and the CD of their last concert Ending on a High Note, the final concert. The Blu-ray of the concert was released on the 11th of April. 2011. Aha played at Oslo Spectrum on the 21st of August 2011, performing the song Stay on These Roads for a national memorial service dedicated to the victims of the 2011 Norway attacks. Post-Aha activities and anniversary releases 2011 to 2014. After Aha's breakup, Harkat released 2 studio albums, Out of My Hands 2012 and Brother 2014. Wakhtar released 2 songs. With New Jersey-based vocalist Jimmy Necco, he presented Weathervane as a new project in June 2011. Their self-titled single was included on the soundtrack for the movie Headhunters based on the book Hodegegern by Joe Nesbø. A second song, Man-Made Lake, had originally been planned for Foot of the Mountain but was released to SoundCloud in 2013. In 2012, Furu Holman became a mentor on the show The Voice, Norge's Best Stem. His mentee, Martin Halla, won the contest and had his first album produced by Furu Holman himself, who is also an esteemed songwriter, producer for other artists. In 2014, Furu Holman agreed to compose the songs and supervise the recordings for the Norwegian film Beatles' second comeback 2015-2016. During an Aha fan convention in Oslo in October 2014, manager Harald Wilk announced plans to re-release Aha's first 5 albums on vinyl and albums 3 through 5 as deluxe editions. In 2015, the band reunited to perform in Rock in Rio. a-ha in fact reunited for a 2-year period and was writing new material. a-ha's 10th studio album, Cast in Steel, was released on the 4th of September 2015. The album was promoted with a European tour from March through May 2016. In March, they played a live concert that was broadcast on BBC Red Button and BBC Radio 2 as part of its In Concert series. a-ha also performed at the 2015 Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo, Norway. In Oslo Spectrum on the 3rd of May 2016, a-ha collaborated with Void, a Norwegian computational design studio. The project resulted in a concert with advanced scenography using 360 virtual reality technology. The stereoscopic VR experience was made available for Android users directly through a YouTube app and for iPhone users and other platforms. The concept involved several motion detectors that reacted to the band's movements, voices, and instruments. 3D cameras, 20,000 lines of code, 1,000 square meters of projection film and massive projectors were set up as a visual show that turned the Spectrum Arena in Oslo into a light installation and visual experience that unfolded live for the audience instead of a pre-programmed sequence. MTV Unplugged and Tour 2017-2021. An album and film from a series of acoustic performances, slated for June 2017, was scheduled for November 2017. In mid-June 2017, they recorded an MTV Unplugged special in the remote Norwegian island of Gisk under close secrecy, with no phones or recording equipment allowed in the studio. In October 2017, an acoustic album titled Summer Solstice was released. It included 2 new songs, This Is Our Home and A Break in the Clouds. The video for This Is Our Home was released in September 2017, followed by the unplugged versions of The Sun Always Shines on T.V, The Living Daylights and Take On Me, the last of which received widespread acclaim for reimagining the pop classic. In early 2018, a-ha went on a European acoustic tour, which was first titled An Acoustic Evening with a-ha but then renamed MTV Unplugged Tour 2018. The acoustic version of Take On Me was included in the movie Deadpool 2, released in May 2018, and in Episode 13, Season 4 of the American TV series The Magicians. On the 29th of October 2019, a-ha started their Hunting High and Low tour in Dublin, Ireland, in which they played the whole of their debut album, in addition to other songs. The tour, scheduled to run through 2020, was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Concerts were scheduled for many European countries: South Africa, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Peru, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, and the United States. On the tour, the band presented the new song Digital River. On the 13th of June 2021, the documentary a-ha, the movie premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York. The movie tells the story of the band and deals with both their success and the problems, such as personal rifts between members. Director Thomas Robson followed the band for 4 years. It was released in countries worldwide. The acoustic studio version of Take On Me was included in the American TV sitcom The Goldbergs on Episode 16, Season 8. Touring and True North, 2022-present. In March 2022, a-ha resumed the Hunting High and Low tour after postponements due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A new film and an album, both called True North, were released on the 21st of October 2022 on the Sony Music, RCA Records label. The recording was completed in November 2021 with the Norwegian Arctic Philharmonic Orchestra in Bodø, Norway. It is a filmed live performance and will also include scenic clips from Norway's nature, set in landscapes of northern Norway. The album's lead single, I'm In, was released on the 8th of July 2022. a-ha performed 2 of the album's songs on their 2022 tour, Forest for the Trees and You Have What It Takes. A demo of I'm In and You Have What It Takes was previously posted on social media by Magne. The album's second single, You Have What It Takes, was released on the 16th of September 2022. In 2023, in celebration of 65 years of the Hot 100, Billboard staff listed the 500 best pop songs of all time that graced the chart since 1958, with Take On Me at No. 26. Musical style and influences. a-ha's music has been described as synthpop, new wave, and pop. The band's primary musical influence was The Doors. One other influences include ABBA, the Bee Gees, David Bowie, Kraftwerk, and Roxy Music, along with synthpop contemporaries such as Duran Duran, The Human League, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, and Ultravox. Legacy. To date, the band is the most successful global pop music act to have emerged from Norway. At its peak in the mid-1980s, the band achieved chart-topping success in Britain and the United States and was commercially successful in non-English-speaking areas of the world such as Germany, France, and South America. In 1986, a-ha received 8 MTV Video Music Awards during one award show. The music video for Take On Me is considered to be one of the most distinctive music videos from the 1980s. On the 17th of February 2020, the video became the 5th video from the 1980s and 1990s to reach 1 billion views on YouTube. Following November Rain and Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, and Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Songs by a-ha, either in original form or in the form of cover versions, have been included as background music and performances in episodes of popular television series, such as The Last of Us, Baywatch, Melrose Place, South Park, Smallville, Cougar Town, Private Practice, and The Leftovers. The band recorded a James Bond theme song, The Living Daylights, for the film of the same name. a-ha's music has also appeared in movies such as My Best Friend's Exorcism, One Night at McCool's, Grosse Point Blank, and Corky Romano. Citation needed. a-ha holds a Guinness World Record from 1991 for drawing the largest paying audience at a pop concert, with 198,000 people at the Estadio do Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro. In 2006, the band was awarded the Q Awards Inspiration Award. Ahead of the 30th anniversary of the Rock in Rio Festival in Rio de Janeiro, a poll made it clear that a-ha's 1991 appearance and their record audience number that year was what people remembered best and the highlight of the festival's 30-year history. As a result, a-ha were invited to reunite for a performance at the festival, celebrating 30 years since their debut album's release. Citation needed. Several bands and artists have mentioned that they like a-ha, including Chris Martin of Coldplay, Sarah Brightman, Adam Clayton of U2, Graham Nash of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and Pitbull. Pitbull and Christina Aguilera performed the song Feel This Moment, which interpolates Take On Me, live at the MGM Grand during the 2013 Billboard Music Awards, with a surprise appearance from Harket. Harket and Furu Holman used their celebrity status to pioneer plug-in electric vehicles in Norway when, together with the environmental NGO Bellona, they imported a converted Fiat Panda and managed to get it registered. Their driving around in this car became local folklore, and Robbie Andrew, a senior scientist working at Oslo CICERO Center for International Climate Research, has argued that the Norwegian enthusiasm for electric cars and their favorable fiscal status can be traced back to this period. Awards and nominations. Main article. List of awards and nominations received by a-ha. Following the success of their debut, the band was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best New Artist in 1986. a-ha have won 8 MTV Video Music Awards, 6 for Take On Me and 2 for The Sun Always Shines on TV. Take On Me was also nominated for Favorite Pop, Rock Video at the American Music Awards of 1986. They also have won 9 Spellemann Awards, the Norwegian equivalent of the Grammy Awards, including Spellemann of the Year in 1986. In November 2012, all 3 bandmates were appointed Knights of the First Class of the Royal Norwegian Order of St. Olav for their contribution to Norwegian music. Band members. Main article. List of a-ha band members. Magne Furu Holman, keyboards, guitars, backing vocals. Morten Harket, lead vocals, occasional guitar. PPL Wakhtar Savoy, guitars, drum programming, percussion, backing vocals, occasional keyboards. Current touring, session musicians, Karl Olof Wennerberg, drums 2009 present. Erika Ljunggren, programming, keyboards, backing vocals, bass 2009 to 2016, 2019 present. Even Ormestad, bass, key bass 2015 present. Discography. Main article, Aha Discography. Hunting High and Low 1985. Scoundrel Days 1986. Stay on These Roads 1988. East of the Sun, West of the Moon 1990. Memorial Beach 1993. Minor Earth Major Sky 2000. Lifelines 2002. Analog 2005. Foot of the Mountain 2009. Cast in Steel 2015. True North 2022. Tour. World Tour 1986-1987 US, Canada, Europe, Australia, Japan. Stay on These Roads Tour 1988-1989 Europe, Japan, South America. East of the Sun, West of the Moon Tour 1991 Europe, South America. Memorial Beach Tour 1993-199 for Europe, Lebanon, South Africa, Russia. Minor Earth Major Sky Tour 2002-01 Japan, Russia, Europe. Lifelines Tour 2002-20 for Europe, Brazil, Russia. Analog Tour 2005-07 Europe, Russia, US, Senegal, Chile. Foot of the Mountain Tour 2009 Europe, South America, Japan, Russia. Ending on a High Note Tour 2010 Europe, US, Canada, South America, Japan, Russia. Cast in Steel Tour 2015-2016 South America, Europe, Russia. MTV Unplugged Tour 2018 Europe. Electric Summer Tour 2018 Europe and Israel 108. An Evening with Format, Hunting High and Low Live 2019 Europe and Russia. Aha Play Hunting High and Low Live 2020 to 2022 Australia, Europe, Japan *, New Zealand, South Africa, United Arab Emirates, Singapore *, USA, South America and Central America. * Concerts in Japan and Singapore cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic.